What's going on, everybody? I am doing the first night of going live. Now, it's not always going to be nighttime. It's definitely going to be other times during the day. But I just wanted to go ahead and do something a little different. I was actually trying to go live earlier today. We'll just mic down some. But for some reason, I could not go live. If you happen to hear a sound in the background, my son still has his TV on. It's turned down a little bit. So hopefully you don't hear it as well. And hopefully we don't get no copyright claims or anything like that. But anyway, the goal is to go live 30 days in this month. There's April 30th, right? 30 days in this month, every single day. I can't really tell you all the specific times I'm going to go live, but there are going to be some that are planned. This one was not really planned. I just kind of just decided to go live right now because I didn't want you all to be like, this dude said he going live and then didn't hold, the agreement. So I want to make sure that I'm honoring whatever challenge I create for myself. So wherever you are in the world, welcome to the channel. This is JustDaNorm. I focus on cakewalk tutorials, music tutorials, and assortment of new things that I've started doing lately as of recent. I'm actually in the process of creating vocal preset templates, basically, that you can use in Cakewalk. Now, I want to show you a few things because in Cakewalk, there actually are a lot of presets that come with it, and they may be helpful for you, or they may not be helpful for you. But I am making my own that I will put on sale. It's not going to be as much, probably $5, $10, something like that, starting off. So if you happen to be interested in it, definitely consider buying it, and that'll be great. If you're in the channel now, let me see if I can go to the chat. Let me know if you're in the room. And if you're in the room and you're just stopping by to say hi, say hi. But anyway, I don't want to hold this too long because I want to go straight into what I really want to talk about. So let me switch over things and hopefully I'm doing this right. All right, now we are in Cakewalk and let me make sure I do this right. Hopefully this changes the way I want it to change. Hi, Big Poppy, how's it going? Turn that off, there we go. All right, now I'm at the corner. Hope your night or morning is going well wherever you are in the world. And if you feel free, let me know where you are from. All right, so in front of me, I have a project, and I got to look at my phone so to make sure I'm getting this right. Joshua Wiley, and I can't remember what the exact artist's name is. So Joshua, if you happen to watch this, I apologize. I'm just going by what email you sent me, basically. So anyway, all right. I guess I should put Oklahoma Clinton. Okay, cool. Awesome, awesome. What if I put this chat overlay up there? Should I put that there? I might put it up there later. Chicago area and Kevin here. Okay, welcome, Kevin. All right, welcome. So I received this email because I am needing the help of others. And if you all that are on here, Clinton and Kelvin, if you all have any music that I don't want your best music. I want the music that you like, hey, I kind of like this song, it's cool. I might not put it out, but I'm looking for different songs of different genres so that way I can take it in Cakewalk and I'm mixing them for free. All right. Now it might not be the best mix, but really what I'm trying to do is actually mix vocals. I'm really focusing mainly on vocals, so that way I can use it to tweak and create a template, a vocal template that I think that would work. Only using Cakewalk tutorial, not Cakewalk tutorials, but Cakewalk templates, Cakewalk vocal effects, or any effects that come within Cakewalk that are stock plugins. Because I know some of you all definitely don't have money. I used to use Waves a long time ago when I was like in my teens, we used to have a bunch of plugins on my dad's old computers because he's a musician and stuff like that. So I loved Waves for years. And then when I started building my own stuff, I kind of got away from using Waves. And it wasn't just because it didn't have anything to do with Waves. It's just I wasn't using it. So, and then I finally asked everybody in the community, like, hey, which plugin should I really look at, or which company should I look at? And everyone was like, oh, you definitely, do Waves. And I was like, okay. So Waves had won the vote in the poll, and I had downloaded 2 or 3 plugins that I'm actually still going to talk about. And I know there's a whole lot of chaos that happened with Waves and the new subscription, but now they straightened everything out because I got an email about it too as well. They straightened everything out. So now everything is back to the way it was. So anyway, I'm rambling, but I can do this on live. So hopefully I'm not rambling too much. Let me go back to Joshua. So Joshua sent me this song. Now, due to the nature of this channel, I try not to put any profanity on this channel. Nothing against it. I know a lot of hip hop, a lot of rap has a lot of profanity in it, but I just try to keep this thing in case I have younger kids or younger teenagers or something that stumble upon the channel and they're trying to learn. Even though that's what everybody listens to anyway. But so I'm going to play a snippet of this track, all right? It's just 4 bars that I'm going to play. I think that's correct. And hopefully you don't hear some other music in the background because my son is playing some stuff. So hopefully you can't hear it that well. And let me know if you're still here, if you can hear this music, because I want to make sure that you can hear it first. So we're right in front of this track, and it's called Had 2 Shots. All right. What was sent to me, let me minimize this a little bit, was basically a 2-track, stereo track, beat, which is typical. A beat, got the main vocal parts, got a few other tracks that I added. And there was a reverb track, a reverb bus, or a reverb aux track, rather than not bus, but aux track. And then there was ad-libs, and then there was another lead vocal track from another rapper that comes in later on. All right, so I've got looped right now, just got 4 bars, and I'm gonna turn all the effects off so you can hear what it sounded like dry. Now, this is not what it sounded like when it was gave to me. Josh had pretty much a really good mix. Like he was using some of and I'll actually have to do a video where I'll pull up the original effects and stuff that he had on there. I just kind of took all of that stuff off to really redo something because I wanted to make a vocal preset that you can download. So, and I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna actually use that same preset on a different project. All right, but anyway, there's a reverb that I added directly to the track. In the preset, this won't be on there. It was just something that I felt that it needed, so I added that to it. But there is some reverb in this section. So over here to the left, I wish I can zoom in on this. You'll see I got a bunch of goodies down here. All right, but anyway, I'm gonna open those up and talk about what I have right now. But let me go ahead and play dry. I'm gonna turn this off as well, the Pro channel. All right, so this should be completely dry, hopefully.
Music, everybody around me know about the movement.
Okay,
If
so
you try and join, better go and talk to my recruitment.
Okay,
Acting
still
like
got
you know
reverb
better,
on.
but you
Let me
just a
mute
student.
the
On the quick come up, I'm
this.
making all the music. Everybody around me know about the movement. If you try and join, better go and talk to my recruitment. Acting like you know better.
Okay, so that's pretty cool. It's a straightforward vocal. I could hear a lot of mid, high mid, low mid kind of nasality tone that's coming through the mic. And that can be the reflections of wherever you're recording at in the room. Let's see. Where do we send you stuff, and what format do you want? Cakewalk project or WAV files? Got a bug in here. Anyway, some type of bug flying around. You can submit it to my email address, and so at the end of this video, see, and I'll put it in here. I might make a caption out of it. Let's do that real quick. Should have had that already here. Okay. Let's see how that looks if it pops up. There you go. So hopefully you can see that good. JustDaNorm LLC at gmail.com for free mixing. All right. So yeah, you can send it in whatever format you want to send it in. If you want to send it in just Wave, that's fine. If you want to send it in the Cakewalk project, I have a video, and once I get done editing, or not editing, but once I get done putting a description to this video, you'll be able to find exactly what that video explains, how to get it to me. If it's a really large file, use WeTransfer or something similar to that, Dropbox, whichever. If it's not, then you can send it as a Cakewalk bundle. And if you're not sure how to do that, I can show you how to do that real quick. Cakewalk bundle, or you can send it as a Cakewalk project as well. Cakewalk bundle is going to be better if you want to include all of your audio and MIDI, etc. Say, for instance, if I'm doing Cakewalk bundle. Yes, honey. Yeah. Okay. Darty asked me a question. Okay. So if you want to send it that way, Cakewalk bundle works best because it compiles everything into one file. So like if you had audio, if you have MIDI data, it'll compile all of that into one file and send it to me. And then I should be able to open it up. As long as you are using plugins that I have access to. So if you was like using some instrument, oh, I got this instrument, you know, and I don't have that particular instrument, then I would have to go download it. Because once I pull it up, I'll have MIDI data. Like for instance, this is all audio. So all audio works fine, no problem. But if you was using like, you know, you had a MIDI bass guitar, some MIDI drums and stuff like that, and you're using different instruments, if I don't have those instruments, then I won't be able to duplicate the same sounds that you have, unless it's something that I actually have. Now, originally on here, he had G-Snap, which is a tune plugin, kind of like auto tune basically, which was, I don't even remember which track it was on. It was on one of these tracks. I think it was on Coat's track, which is at the bottom, which is track 7. And let me tell you about G-Snap. It works. But for some reason, sometimes, and it might be just me, every time I've used it, I feel like it doesn't do anything. And maybe it does. Oh, let me go back to chat. I'm sorry. I'm missing some of these good questions. And all right. So, KC, for real, you said, if I don't have any original songs, yeah, maybe someday. I have been doing songs with background tracks, probably not what you are wanting. Songs with background tracks. So like if you're sending me like yourself recording, I don't know, that's like I don't know, I'm a picker. So AC/DC, you're like, I really like this AC/DC song, and then you're like, okay, cool, you've got like a MIDI instrumental track, or you got an audio instrumental track, and you want to record your vocals on top of that and send it to me, I still can use it. I mean, of course, I won't play any of it for copyright issues, but I definitely could use it to, you know, think of some different strategies. Because, like, you know, when you're working with vocal presets, it's not a one plugin fix. I mean, or one preset fixes everything. It's a starting point. So don't ever think that, you know, even when you see people, yeah, you know, I got that little Drake, or I got that Easy, or I got that, you know, Justin Bieber template, you know, it's a starting point. It's going to kind of give you the same characteristics, but you got to keep in mind, what microphone are you recording with? Are you recording with the same mic they recorded with? Are you recording in you know, treated space? It's a whole bunch of other things that you got to consider. So it's a good starting point for this. What I did, and then let me go back and play, because I know I keep talking about other things, but that was a good question. I hope, Big Poppy, thank you for saying that. I hope that answers your question. But yeah, if you got something you want to send me, period, anyway, send it to me. But the main thing is that, you know, have your like vocals on there. You know, I'm mainly focusing on vocals. So even with this 2-track, let me play just a track real quick. So On here, there wasn't anything. So I'm using just a Sonitis multi-band EQ. Now, the thing I hate about receiving 2 tracks, I mean, but we do this all the time because anytime you're mixing, you know, a lot of times that's all you may get is a 2-track. Somebody might have downloaded it from YouTube. I don't know how Josh got this track. I don't know if somebody made it for him. But the track itself, okay. Can you all hear that as well? I want to make sure you all can hear that. Tell me yes if you can, because here, let me get on YouTube myself so I can make sure that I'm hearing it. Because I got a thing for going live. That's why one reason why I'm trying to go live more often is because sometimes I'm always making a bunch of mistakes when I go live. So let's see if I hear it. Okay, cool. All right, good. Okay, you can hear everything. Awesome, awesome. I just want to make sure. All right, so that's the beat. All right, and this is what the beat sounded like before I put the multi-band on. Okay, this is with the multi-band. Let me turn it on. Bypassed. Okay, and my whole purpose for this, do I have an EQ on this as well? That's what I'm trying to remember if I have an EQ on this track. Yes, I am using the EQ too as well. So I do have this one completely dry. So this is completely dry. Okay, which is fine. It just sounds, you know, sounds a little dull to me. But like I said, I don't know where the track came from, so I can't say anything about it. It's good. It's a cool track. So my intention was to take this Pro EQ on the left side, and I basically boosted some of the lows, like right around 48 hertz, trying to get some of that low in. Now, I am mixing with headphones, and sometimes I have to be very careful with these headphones because they don't have a lot of bottom in them. So I have a tendency, I want to add more bottom to it. So, but even with the track, what I'm trying to do is I'm cutting some low mids, I'm cutting some high mids, boosting a little bit within this like 2.1 K hertz range. And that's just so I can get a little more clarity out of the beat. But ultimately, I want to kind of duck it down to some areas so it won't be so muddy. It's kind of a lo-fi-ish groove, which is good, you know, but and so now the vocal, my whole intention was to try to boost it or enhance it, give more clarity to it. So now let me talk about what I did, but I'm gonna let you hear with everything on. Let me unmute this. Let me put this back on. All right, and I think that's everything, right? This on? Okay. Okay, that's on. I'm on the wrong track. You knew that, right? I was like, dude, you're messing with the wrong track. I was still on track 1. All right, okay, so I'm supposed to be on track 2. There we go. That's on. Let's turn that back on at the top. Reverb is on, right? Okay. Yeah, all right. So this is what it sounds like.
If you try and join, better go and talk to my recruitment. Acting like you know better, but you just a student. On the quick come up, I'm making all the music. Everybody around me knowing about the movement. If you try and join, better go and talk to my recruitment. Acting like you know better, but you just a student. On the quick come up, I'm making all the music. Everybody around me knowing about the movement.
Okay, now this is what I just worked on. Hey Gary, how's it going? This is what I was working on last night. Just really quickly trying to do something real quick. And my whole thought process is that I really wanted the lyrics to be intelligible. So I really want them to be heard. Because if the beat is very dull and dark, then I kind of want the vocals to be bright, crispy, etc. Now, how I arrived at that, I probably went over extreme, and you probably don't have to do it like that. Hey, yeah, I'm glad you're doing good, man. Glad you're doing well. All right. Cool, cool, cool. So, Gary, you just coming in, and basically we're talking about a track that someone sent me, a song that someone sent me, and I'm doing free mixing right now. Okay, don't ask me how long this is going to last, but I'm doing free mixing because, to be honest, I am so busy. I never really even think about trying to do this thing because I'm constantly gigging a lot. But anyway, I just came from a gig earlier, which is the reason why I'm dressed like this. I had my whole suit on and everything. But so yeah, we're just talking about these vocals. Now, what I did was, so I got a reverb on here to offer some slight reverb. I also have this track sent to an aux track, which is track 5. Which is the main reverb. And on that reverb, I also have a Sonitis reverb, right? Dry signal is all the way down. Reverb is all the way up. I got a tail on it with 100. Give it a little more depth. Sonitis delay, I have it factor for 1. Both sides equal. Mix is about halfway, 42%. A little feedback. And I have it a little bit faster than the actual tempo mark, and actual tempo mark is at 112 exactly. I have it at 112.7, and that really wasn't a big deal. I could put it right at 112. All right, now this is my whole strip right here, and what I'm doing is I'm trying to create strips only using the stock plugins that I know will cover different sonic tones, basically, as far as mixing. So, you know, like if you're going for like a 60s, you know, country, or 60s like Motown sound, you know, trying to emulate that, where you can take that plug-in, or take that vocal preset and pop it on your track, and, you know, and it'll make you sound like, you know, you were back then singing, you know, whatever song it is. So kind of just trying to create some basic templates that I can sell, you know, not for a lot. I'm not trying to sell it for like $20 or $30 or anything like that. Something real simple, maybe $5 for a template. Just something to kind of help, because a lot of people in the community were saying that they were having, you know, a lot of people have trouble mixing, okay? Even I have trouble mixing sometimes. You know, it's something that never gets easier. And it all just depends on how challenging a song is to mix. So I can't talk. This is what happened when I'm real tired. But as I learn, I share. So, and just know it's never going to be perfect. And you're going to always want to remix it a different way. And you're going to always think in the back of your mind, like, I really don't like that. You know, you're going to be like, what? I still don't like that. So sometimes it's good to just set it and leave it alone, all right? Just sent you a file with drums, purposely overly loud. Maybe you can tinker with it. Oh, baby, I love drums. But that's my main instrument, so anything dealing with drums, I definitely. You know, Casey, I don't know if you have checked it out, but I have a whole series, which was really called 8 Ways to Record Drums. But it turned out to be like probably, I don't know, 15 to 20 different videos. Originally, it was just supposed to be one video, but I just cropped it into specific sections. But I go into talking about mic and drums and et cetera like that. So if you get a chance, check that out. But yeah, definitely, I'd love to look at any of that stuff. So cool. I'll check and make sure that I got it in a second. Actually, I'll check it right now, because I'm live. Sometimes I get used to recording and talking to myself or talking to the camera, but I'm actually talking to some people. So let's see. Keyboardist from Chicago. Cool. I got it. Awesome. I got it, Casey. Thank you for that. I'll send you an email and let you know what the progress is. It'll probably be something next week. And if you don't mind, it'll be just like this. I might just do all of this live. I don't even know. I'll just get on there. I'll talk about it a little bit. Okay. So you said Big Poppy. I hate how small this is. I wish I can Can I do this? Ooh, I can do a full screen. Okay, that's cool. I hope I know how to get back to the other part. When you get a chance to answer, I wanted to add a little something to my vocal when recording that I can hear in the headphones. Can that be set up in an aux or a bus? Okay. Okay, let me hear this question right. Okay, press the escape button and go back to it. Okay, that scared me for a second. I learned how to do something new. I'm using this Restream software, and I got confused for a second. So I don't want to get confused on here because I messed around and turned the stream off on accident. All right, so yeah, oh yeah, okay, so now I got what you're talking about. Okay, I had to think about, went over my head for a second. So for instance, say for instance, if I wanted to record, like now, how I'm gonna turn all of that off. This main reverb, this is an aux track, okay? So if I right click and I do like send to, is it on here? Okay, is it on this part? I'm so used to doing it on the, let me do it this part, okay? This is where I need to do it. So on the console part for the channel, not to affect the vocal. Yeah, it won't affect the vocal recording. You're just gonna create, you can either create a bus or you can create an aux. Okay, so the aux track, basically what you're doing is you're sending your dry signal to another track. And then that other track has the effects on it. So now if you are recording on that other track, then it will affect it. But the original track is, and this is just so you feel like reverbs, like, and I can show you how to do that in a second. But yeah, so like on this main track, basically there's a send section. You click on it, and then you can send to a new aux track, or you can send to a new stereo bus, whichever. When it comes down to mixing, I use stereo buses, but if I'm doing something like, you know, just simple, I just really want some effects on there while I'm recording, then I'll do an aux track. And the reason why is because my aux track right here, track 5, you see how low that is? Well, this is what happens when I turn it up.
If you try and join, better go and talk to my recruitment. Hey, acting like you know better, but you just a student. On the quick come up, I'm making all the music. Everybody around me,
so you hear all that reverb?
If you try and join, better go and talk to my recruitment. Hey, acting
and then
like
I can
you
turn
know
it
better,
down.
but you just a student. On the quick come up,
But
I'm making
that's
all the
only on this track. So here's the reverb. And you can kind of actually hear the words that are being said, but it's just the effect itself. So yeah, so you could do it that way, and then you can mix this into taste. We call this like parallel mixing, or basically parallel effects, which you can also do like parallel EQ too as well. Oh, it's all good. That's all good. All good, because hey man, the first step to doing anything is starting, right? That's the first step. All right, so let me explain this monster of a chain that I have here. All right, so we'll go back to Pro Channel. So at the top here, there's like a little knob symbol. Click on that to show the Pro Channel. Now I have all of these collapsed right now, but I can expand them. So the first thing that I have at the top is a console emulator channel. Up until now, it's something that I probably haven't really used in the past. Even some of the songs that I put out, I never use it. But let me tell you why this is really good. If you want to get or emulate that analog sound, each of these come, or this particular console emulator comes with 2 parts. It comes with a stereo bus, and it comes with the individual channel. So you can put it on your bus or your main or your master, whichever, and you can also put it on individual channel. But this is the way it's really supposed to work, and I had to look at Cakewalk documentation just to figure out exactly what to do with this. So you need to put it on every single track, because, so say for instance, now for this I haven't really worried about it, but say for instance I had it on, I don't know, 20 tracks. Say I had 20 tracks on here. It's gonna emulate it like as if I had a 20 channel mixer. So every individual channel in that mixer has some nuances, some characteristics, some saturation that differs from channel to channel. And so the thing is that you really want to just put this like on there. You all can't even see it, but let me go let me go back to my other screen. let's see, what am I doing here? Click right here. There we go. All right, so on this left side, you all can even see it basically. I wish I can like zoom in on this section, or I wish I can slide this over. You gotta love when you can't edit things like you really want to. But anyway, so on the left side, on the Pro channel, that's a console emulator right there, and I had it on the N type. I have the drive right at 0, and I have the trim at 0, and I have the tolerance off. Now you'll see the signal come through it, but you won't. It's affecting it, but it's really not affecting it, if that makes sense. You might be able to hear a difference. You might not be able to hear a difference.
But you just a student. On the quick come up, I'm making all the music. Everybody round me
turn the
know
ad-libs
about
off
the
for a
movement.
second.
If you try and join, better go and talk to my recruitment. Acting like you know better, but you just a student. On the quick come up, I'm making all the music. Everybody round me know about the movement. If you try and join, better go and talk to my recruitment. Acting like you know better, but you just a student.
I had it turned off at the top. You, keep in mind that when you're dealing with the Pro channel, there's a global on and off button up here at the top. And if that's not on, you won't hear it. I was like, why is this not moving? I'm like making my liar out of myself. All right, let me put this back where it was.
Come up, I'm making all the music.
So I'm getting the signal.
Around me know about the movement.
Now, of course, I can drive it more.
Talk to my recruitment. Acting like you know better, but you just a student. On the quick come up, I'm making all the music. Everybody around me know about the movement. If you try and join, better go and talk to my recruitment. Acting like you know better, but you just a student. So it's affecting it. On the quick come
but I'm just leaving it flat.
Everybody around me know about the movement. If you
and
try and join, better
go
and talk to my.
All right, so the next thing that I have on the is an EQ. And of course, anytime you start mixing, you definitely want to do subtractive EQing first. That's a must. That is a must. All right, the quad curve equalizer, I love it. Is it the best EQ out there? It's not the best EQ out there, but it is pretty good. X.E.L.O. Okay, I mean, hey man, you don't do it that high, man, but I just had to take it up an octave. What's up, dude? How you feeling? We're just talking about this track that I got, and we're talking about vocal mixing and creating vocal chains, etc. All right, so of course you want to do high pass filter, which is here, and then I can change that. I'm not gonna change it right now because I got it kind of locked in, but I can change that wherever I want. And then I've got my lows. I'm doing some cutting at 153 hertz, all right, because it's just one of those areas. Now, for me, my vocals, I don't know, I kind of like that 150, 160, like 180 hertz range, like, because I got such a thin voice, it definitely adds to it. Cool, Casey, cool. And I thank you for sending those tracks, man. I'm anxious to listen to it. Yeah, it's like because I have a thin voice, so I normally need a lot more bottom and oomph to my vocals. But because this track was kind of dull and dark, I really want the vocals to pop and stand out, basically. All right, so we got the cut right there. We got a cut right here at 520 hertz. And between that 450, like 520, like anywhere between that, like 400 to 500 hertz range is where it's like really boxy and muffled sounding. So it's always good to dip that too as well. Cool beans. And then I got a dip in high mids around 1.7 kilohertz. This range is where I get some of those nuances I don't really care for. When you're being in a room that's not treated, you get a lot of natural reverberation bouncing off the wall and stuff, and sometimes you hear these tones. So when I'm trying to, what is my music genre? Big Pop, you talking to me? My music genre? Man, I do it all, man. Shoot, like, I do it all. But performing-wise, I perform. You know, earlier we was doing some Lionel Richie and some Grover Washington, Bill Weathers, etc. Writing style, I'm more towards like R&B, but then I have some I've got some jazz stuff. I've got some pop stuff. I even got a rock song that I wrote a while ago. I just never have like recorded it. Like a lot of stuff I have, I just want to record with a full band. It's kind of like on this, it's kind of like Van Halen, kind of similar to like 80s pop. Okay, it's not metal, but hey, I might start writing some stuff that's metal. I wish I could put all this stuff up here. Let's see, what is Boxy Muddy? I don't get it yet. So Boxy Muddy. Well, the best way to do it is let me show you. Let me show you what I mean. All right, so let me mute everything. I'm just gonna solo this track. Turn this off for a second. I'm gonna mute that for a second as well. All right, I just wanna make sure that effects ain't coming through. And I'm gonna take this, no, I'll keep that on. All right, so let me just deal with the EQ and I can tell you what I mean by boxy.
My recruitment, acting like you know better, but you just a student.
So
on the quick come up, I'm making all the music. Everybody around me know.
Hold on a second, I don't have it on. Yep, it might help if I turn it on.
About the movement. If you try and join, better go and talk to my recruitment.
So around this
acting
range,
like you know better, but you just a student. On the quick come up, I'm making
if
all
I
the music.
over exaggerate
Everybody
it,
around me know about the movement. If you try and join, better go and talk to my recruitment.
okay, it sounds like you're in a box, or another word could be like a tunnel. And it's nothing against, you know, how I don't know where they recorded it. I get the same tone, but I mean, it's just natural tones or natural frequencies that get in your vocals. And just know, even the pros, even if you had a $10,000 microphone, you're still gonna have to cut some frequencies out of it because it's a lot that goes into it. Well, I mean, we have three EQs. We have three EQs. We got the Pro Channel EQ, but I just wish you could use, well, I wonder if you could add an additional Pro Channel EQ in here, the quad curve. I wonder if you can add another one. But I mean, I do have down below, I'm gonna get to my FX chain. So, and then I did add extra EQs later on. Big Poppy, did that answer your question about that? So you can kind of see how when I exaggerated that sound, it sound real muffled. So yeah, you can only, for the quad curve, you can only add one. But it doesn't matter because I to be honest, I like the quad curve, but I don't even use it that much. I always use the Sonitus more than anything, or the Sonatus, or however they pronounce it. Okay, good. Big Poppy, I'm glad to answer your question. So I got the console emulator. I got the EQ. Right, I did some cutting there. That's probably not exactly where I had it at. It's all good. I could do Control Z to go back to where it was, but I'm not gonna worry about it. And then I got a tube. And a lot of these plugins, I kind of just added in there just because I was adding them in there. You know, you've seen those videos, right? When you're watching a person, they're like, yeah, boom. And I put this effect on that, boom. Then I put another one on there. You hate looking at the Sonitus. Hey, man, it's not about the look. It's about the feel, baby. It's about the feel. No, I'm just messing anyway. Yeah, none of the plugins in the Sonitus suites are pleasing to the eye. They kind of look plain and corny looking. But I wonder if you can go in there. You think you can go in there and adjust it with the theme editor? Could you change it then? I don't know. That's something to look into. I don't know. Maybe you can redo the way it looks. You can always like program it that way, probably. If you know how to code. Yeah, they do. They work. So I got this tube and I increased my input and I increased my drive and I decreased the output because it naturally is going to give you more output. So let's go back to that. Am I still playing?
Acting like you know better, but you just a student. On the quick come up, I'm making all the music. Everybody around me know about the movement. If
This
you
is
try
without
and
the
join, better go
tube.
and talk to my recruitment. Acting like you know better,
This
but
is
you
with
just
the
a student.
tube.
On the quick come up, I'm making
It's
all the
not
music.
much a
Everybody
difference,
around
and
me
you might
know
not
about
even
the
be able to
movement.
hear
If you
it
try and
on your
join, better go and
headphones
talk
or
to my
speakers, wherever
recruitment.
you're
Acting
listening.
like you know better, but
Now,
you
if I
just a
boosted
student.
that output
On the quick
up,
come up, I'm making all the music. Everybody around me
you
know
will hear
about
the
the
big
movement.
difference.
If you try and join.
All right, so you definitely will hear the difference. Do I use all Cakewalk effects? No, I mean, I have other effects that I use, but I understand, and especially with what happened with the waves situation, everybody was furious about waves. And I don't know, I've learned one thing, that if you can't figure out how to make your sound good with what you have, adding more to it doesn't necessarily gonna make it mean, I mean, it's not gonna, it might be better because they're better quality EQs and they have more things, more ways of manipulating it, especially like if you get like a better EQ, you know, something that has, you know, more bands that you can add and tweak it more differently, that would be cool. But if you don't know how to use the basic stuff, the more advanced plugins, and sometimes there's some plugins that are real simple, you know, one knob, you just turn one knob and it makes everything sound better. But I wanted to stick with those people that I know are not going to take time to go download and buy a million other plugins. Oh, it's good to download them, and it's definitely good to have them. I just downloaded a few more last night. And like I said, I will have a series that's going to focus on creating the chains outside of the plugins in here. But for the people that are just beginning, I was doing a call earlier. I was helping, I don't even know the age range, but I was helping a woman try to edit their tracks, but it wasn't like recording original tracks. It was like taking MIDI tracks, bringing them in, and trying to arrange them because they perform piano and probably sing to tracks. And so she gave me ideas of videos that I need to make about how to edit that. But a person that's a beginner is not going to be trying to look for all those extra plugins. They just trying to figure out how to record, period. How can I record? How can I get a good sound with what I have? But there are so many good free. Yeah, there are some. Now, VSTs is a different story. Okay, VSTs is a different story. When it comes to instruments, Cakewalk is very limited with instruments. So you definitely got to use instruments outside of Cakewalk. But I believe that, I don't know, I believe that we have some really cool free stock plugins. Not every DAW has really good stock plugins. Really good set is Kilohertz. Okay, I had to check them out too as well. Cool. I'm gonna have to check all of them out, man. So y'all got gigs and terabytes of space, man. That's the other thing. It'll be somebody that's like, I got an old, like, you know, I just put, you know, they'll be like, I just put Windows 10 on my computer and I got like a 300 gig hard drive and that's all I got. And I'll be like, oh yeah, well just go ahead and download all 200 of these plugins and you'll be fine. Dude, oh my God, I'm trying to just get a good vocal recording. That's all it's about, trying to get a good vocal recording. If you can't get a good vocal recording, I mean, even before plugins, even before adding any plugins, if you can get a good vocal recording, like, you know, it might not be the best. I mean, it don't even have to be an expensive mic. It can just be something that works. It has lower usage than some of the Cakewalk plugins. Okay, I'm definitely have to check them out. I'm gonna have to check them out. But I don't really have a lot of problem with Cakewalk plugins as far as I mean, I never had a, you know, I don't know, like you see where memory is at now. I'm on a different hard drive right now for this one, but memory usage is at 40%, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's always good to, if they're free, definitely add the free plugins. Because, I mean, you never know when you're going to need them. Like, sometimes I stumble upon, actually, I made a video about a few of them. I stumbled upon a plugin that I didn't even know I had. I was like, where this plugin come? I don't even remember downloading this plugin. And it turned out to be something really cool. So, after the tube, did I put that back where it was at? I think I did. After the tube, I have the 2A compressor. All right, I have it set on gain reduction. I have it set on compress. Gain, I think that was at like right at 50 when I put it on, but I turned it down. like 10 decibels, and then, or not 10 decibels, but I mean, I turn it down 10. And then for as a peak reduction, I had that. So let's add that in. You can hear it.
Better go and talk to my recruitment. Acting like you know better, but you just a student. On the quick come up, I'm making all the music.
Without
Everybody around me knowing about the movement. If you try and join, better go and talk to my recruitment. Acting like you
the
know
2A
better,
is
but
really
you just
nice.
a student. On the quick come up, I'm making all the music. Everybody around me knowing about the.
Yeah, we got like three. We have three compressors within this Pro channel, and it's funny because like once again, I'll be going back to Sonida's compressor. I'll be using Sonida's compressor like crazy, boy. Is there a way to know if the recording will work? Noise, background, room, just listening. Sorry, throwing you off topic. Is there a way to know if the recording will work? Clarify that for me one more time. If you can, Big Poppy. Maybe remind everyone that you can use plugins manager to exclude some plugins so they don't get in your way. Not delete, just exclude. Oh, yeah, definitely. But I mean, once you download them, why would you want to exclude any of them? You know, I mean, that's how you stumble upon some stuff. It'll be that one song, and you'll be like, I need something special on this song. And you'll be like, reverb, nah, I don't want that. Delay, nah, I don't want that. And you'll be like, oh, and it'll be something called, it'll be like the little beat smacker. You'll be like, oh, let me get that little beat smacker. I ain't never tried that before. And then you'll put it on there. You'll be like, dang, what's this plugin? I ain't never did this before. So you're trying to find out, like, if you're recording, how do you know it sounds good? Okay. Bottom line, if it sounds distorted, what should it sound like? Sorry, okay. Type it, okay. That's okay. Hey, that's how I feel tonight. It's late. I should be in the bed now. Anyway, what should it sound like? It should sound, first of all, it shouldn't be distorted. Second of all, it should be coming through both sides. So if you record it and you notice you only hear it on one side, that means that you have it set as a stereo input, and you should switch it to a mono input, depending on whatever interface or whatever you're using. Yeah, a good idea too as well. Now, of course, keep in mind that when you're referencing to other tracks or other vocals, that those vocals are probably going to be EQ'd and tweaked already. So now, if you're doing mixing process, yeah, then you want to be referencing like crazy. But if you're just trying to get like record and make sure you recorded it right, then making sure that it's not peaking or not distorted, making sure that it's on both sides, making sure that there's not a lot of background noise. And you will always have some type of background noise. Like for instance, and that's one reason why we take off a lot of the low frequencies, like sub-low frequencies that like 20 hertz through 60, 75, 80 hertz, because a lot of those, like your computer might be going, like I'm recording, my computer's probably cutting through. My son's got his TV on, that's cutting through. So all these extra little sounds, they may not seem like much when you're recording, when you're listening to it, you're like, that's cool. But when you get ready to tweak those vocals and you add compression and it starts bringing up all the levels of everything, then you're going to be like, what's that noise in the background? What is that? And then, so that's why you want to start off with that subtractive EQ, because that's one way to get rid of some of those sounds. But yeah, are you going to always have a perfect recording where it's like, oh man, I had a perfect recording. I didn't have to do nothing to it. I didn't have to EQ it or do nothing. I didn't have no noise in the background. No, it's not going to be like that. But I hear, and I haven't tried it yet, I will try it. There's a plugin. Well, I mean, it's been out for a long time, but there's a plugin called Clarity by Wave. I think it's by Waves, right? X, have you used that plugin before? The Clarity plugin. And what it's supposed to do is, like, no matter how much noise is around, if you turn the dial, it'll like actually cut all the background noise out. Yeah, recording dry is always a must. Never record, You haven't used it? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be getting into a whole bunch of other plugins. So as I peep stuff, I'm gonna run it your way and say, hey man, you use it, man. Use this, man. You should use it. Yeah, if you're messages keep you don't use Waves anymore. I was just talking about Waves earlier. I used to use Waves a long time ago. I had some of the best plugins then too as well, but that was like on my dad's old PC system, and that was back in when we were still using Pro Audio Cakewalk, and then when Sonar first came out. New to this world. Reference track. Okay. Reference track is thinking sonically something that's similar to the song that you're recording. If you're recording a metal song, what song kind of sounds like my song tonality wise, the range wise? So like if I'm covering a range of, I don't know, on the piano, like my lowest note is F sharp 2 and my highest note is, I don't know, E5 or something like that. What song is kind of, similar, maybe even in the same key as mine, same tempo, same sound, or a sound that I really want to arrive at. Okay, so like for this rap, I was thinking, this person's song, I was thinking I really wanted something really bright and in your face. So, which is why I went about putting a million different plugins on here. Until when they started update stuff. Yeah. Well, and it's funny because I just downloaded, I just bought, it's crazy, dude. This is so crazy. I literally bought 3 plugins from Waves because I was getting ready to start talking about Waves on the channel. And right after I bought those 3 plugins, it was like 2 days later, they were like, yeah, now you got to subscribe. And I was like, what? I said, because everything was on sale. It was like, I think 3 plugins was like $60 something. I was like, shoot, this is cool. And then they was like, nah, you got to subscribe now. But now they fixed everything. So the perpetual license will be back. They're bringing them back, slowly rolling them back. So they'll have that along with the subscription. But subscription wise, $15, you get 100 and some plugins. It's pretty dope. I don't know if I'm gonna have space to download everything, but got to buy another hard drive. But I'm gonna tell you what's really good, subscription wise. And before I built this computer system in 2020, right when COVID hit, I had downloaded Slate Digital. I did their subscription, and I had it for a little while. And actually, 2 or 3 of the songs that I put out were with Slate, and I really did like Slate. Hey man, if it helps you, Big Poppy, I don't know nothing either, man, to be honest. All I do is learn. I'm an advanced learner, and I just share what I share. But it's good to be honest, and it's never feel like you can't ask a question, because trust me, if I don't know an answer to it, X will know an answer to it, and if X don't know an answer to it, Mike will know an answer to it. So, and if Mike don't know an answer to it, somebody gonna know an answer to it. So, we got so many amazing YouTube channels that are covering Cakewalk, and not just Cakewalk, other dolls as well. Yeah, Slate is sweet, dude. Like, and I was like, just the way the plugins look. But anyway, I might go back to them. But anyway, I'm not knocking Cakewalk, cause. All right, Casey, thanks for the song, man. I'll email you and let you know what's going on with it when I start looking at it. All right, so, I got this compressor. Did I add it on? Did y'all hear with that? Yeah, I think so. Play.
The movement. If you try and join, better go and talk to my recruitment. Acting like you know better, but you just a student.
Next thing I added was grid. Now that we have a whole bunch of single knob plugins on here, and it was like these plugins are kind of hidden. They're there, but you don't ever trip off of them until you actually find them there, and you be like, wow, okay. So this grid just adds a little bit more saturation to it, and but it can also add distortion as well. Hi. Who? It should be inside the in the bag, the blue bag, or inside Nori's bag. I think so. Sorry, I'm talking to my wife. Yeah, the one knobs are cool. This one, you don't need much of it because if you put too much on there.
But making all the music. Everybody around me knowing about the movement. If you
Now,
try
if you
to
want to
join
go for
better, go and talk to
distortion,
my recruitment.
you definitely
Acting like
can use
you know
that.
better, but you're just a student. On the quick come up, I'm making all the music.
So the whole process is like just trying to have each plugin do just a little bit more. Like you don't want one plugin to do everything because first of all, a plugin, it'll be mad at you later on. Like it might even be taxing on the system too as well. All right, so then saturate, soft tube, saturate. Now I like the way this one really looks though. I really do like the way this one looks. So I added more saturation to it.
Everybody around me knowing about the movement. If you try and join better, go and talk to my recruitment.
Same thing.
Acting
If
like
I
you know
turn it
better,
up,
but
it'd
you're
be
just a
very
student.
distorted.
On the quick come up, I'm making all the
And I
music.
got it on neutral.
Everybody
I just
around me
added
knowing about the movement. If you try and join better, go and talk to my recruitment.
Slide
Acting
it a
like you
little
know
bit.
better, but you.
All right, and then after that, here is where the fun begins. Because on here, you can also create your FX chain. And a lot of people don't even know this, that the FX chain, you could do it here, and you can do it here as well. The FX chain will allow you to import, or not import, but insert other plugins that are outside of the Pro channel. So I put my VX64. And like I said, I kind of just was going crazy with this thing. And you could probably like, dude, you got like 4 compressions in here. I was like, man, I don't know. I just did it, you know? So I got a de-esser, and it's de-essing like right around 7.15 kilohertz. I got an expand, which is, I use somewhat of that compression, -14 for the threshold, and I have a ratio of 3.2 to 1, and then I have a tack that's somewhat fast, but not really real fast. And then I have the lows rolled off, not rolled off, well, yeah, kind of rolled off like a low shelf, deducted, and then I have the highs raised up just a little bit. And yeah, I think that's what I did. Yeah, I swear by the VX64. I'm like, I don't know. But anyway, so that's that. Let me turn those 2 off. So this is with the VS64.
You're just a student. On the quick come up, I'm making all the music. Everybody around me knowing about the movement. If you try and join better, go and talk to my recruitment. Acting like you know better, but you just.
Okay, and then what EQ can't do, what compression can do, the multi-band compressor can definitely do that. So now here, I can't remember if I used a preset on this or not. I probably did, but I just kind of retweaked it a little bit. So then adding a little bit more high mids, brought the highs down some. The mids, low mids are there, and then I brought some of the low end down. So do I have that one on there? Yeah.
A student. On the quick come up, I'm making all the music. Everybody around me knowing about the movement. If you try and join better, go and talk to my recruitment.
Okay, and then to top it off, I added another compressor. Now I put the Sonitis compressor in there. -11 threshold, 2.6 to 1 ratio. Not a heavy need, so 7 decibels, and the attack is slower on this one, and the release is so. And with that added in, I got it on. Yeah.
Acting like you know better, but you're just a student. On the quick come up, I'm making all the music. Everybody around me knowing about the movement.
Okay, and I think that's everything that's on that strip. And then let me unmute everything now.
Acting like you know better, but you're just a student. On the quick come up, I'm making all the music. Everybody around me knowing about the movement. If you try and join better, go and talk to my recruitment. Acting like you know better.
Okay, all right. So and then, like I said, I had to, gotta have I just played this section because this is probably the only section of the music that didn't have profanity in it. So I like trying to keep this PG, PG as much as possible. All right. So, but anyway, it's an overkill vocal processing of it, but I really did want something that was more in your face. It's definitely got the high end. It's probably a little too saturated, so I might back off some saturation on some areas, and because it's starting to sound a little distorted. But like I said, in the headphones, sometimes the headphones, I'll play around with it more when I get out to like listen to it in the car, listen to it on some speakers and some other things like that. But right now, this is just mixing it with headphones. X, before you came on here, I got to put the multiband back on there too as well. I didn't do that. Yeah, so this is a track that someone gave me. Was it Joshua Wiley, I think? Joshua Wiley. I think that's, yeah, if I'm saying that right. And basically, he had already did a really fine job of like really mixing stuff. This is not how it was brought to me. I saved this one separate so that I won't get it mixed up with the original one. But I mean, of course, he still has it too as well. Vocals up front, yeah. And when it really comes to vocals up front, it's really gonna take small adjustments of compression, and you're gonna need at least 3 compressors. And you can see that in most tutorial videos that talk about pop vocals, like really having it up front. You can't get one compressor to do that. So you're gonna use multiple compressors, multiple EQs. I almost thought I put another EQ on here, but I guess I didn't. Anyway, thought I put one on there. I need to slide this up. I have 2 console emulators on here. Let's delete this one. This is a different track. So, okay, anyway, but in order to get those vocals up front, and then once again, like I said, I did have the reverb on. I didn't have the reverb on either.
But you're just a student. On the quick come up, I'm making all the music. Everybody around me knowing about the movement. If you try and join, better go and talk to my recruitment. Acting like you know.
Okay, then like I said, I had that delay on there, and I could have put the delay in there a little bit more, but I kind of really wanted the effects to be way in the back, so you feel them more than you really hear them. You could kind of hear them, but they just kind of help them mesh better with this 2-track. And the 2-track, like I said, I just used a multiband on it. It's a cool track. It's just, like I said,
No better, but you just a student. On the quick come up, I'm making all the.
So, I mean, this is what I have, and this is what I'm gonna keep working with. So the intention is to kind of perfect this chain, and I guess I'll consider it a pop chain, maybe? Hip hop, I can't really say hip hop or a rap chain. Most times, rappers do have their vocals up front, but it just depends on what style you're going for. Because some have it more warmer, more in the back too as well. But I would say this is more like my today is pop sound, basically. And of course, any of these are tweakable. You might have to adjust the effects, timing wise. So, I mean, but this is like a good preset just to start with. So once I get it, the way I really want it, I'm gonna save it, and then I'll save it, and then I'll try to make something real spiffy for it, and then I'm gonna put it on the market, and then hopefully somebody will want to buy it. All right, okay. All right, so, but that's not where the fun stops. So this whole Pro Channel strip can be applied to anything. And what I did was I took it and I applied it straight down to this other track. I'm using 2 different reverbs, bro. I'm using 2 different reverbs. I'm using directly on, and I don't know, I just added this last minute. I really could have added it to the Pro Channel chain effect, but for some reason I didn't do it that way. But I'm using a reverb. I'm using a plate, like very light plate. Like, did I do any EQing on it? Yeah, I did shape the EQ a little bit. So I'm using a reverb on that, and then I'm using the reverb. I have it sent to an aux track, which I'm using reverb, the Sonitis reverb, and the Sonitis delay on there as well. So, yeah. So that's what I'm doing with that. So now I can take this because I saved it. Well, yeah, I normally do have a reverb, but like if not for this particular song, because when he sent it to me, he already had a reverb aux track. So like this is his track. Well, actually, when he sent it to me, there was only how many tracks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There was 5 tracks, but track 3 was a main reverb. What I did was, because if you listen to the whole song, I feel like he recorded the vocals at different times because the tonality of his voice sounds different. Like, which is why I took this part right here that's on, and I added it to a new track because it was all on one track, but I don't know, for some reason, I don't know if it's the same rapper. It sounded like one rapper came in, rapped one part, and then somebody else rapped another part right after it. Or it might be the same rapper. I'm not even sure, but they sound different. The tones sound different. So I put that on a different track because up here, this section, yeah, probably punching in, punching out, yeah, and that's why it's good. And even though I don't do this really, it's good to put those sections on different tracks so I can manipulate it a little different. This section, I added the exact same preset as track 2, as the main vocal track. But on this one, I had to boost the low end just a little bit because it just sounded a little more tintier than these other takes. And then this section, he manipulated to give it that telephone effect, which is cool, but he just had it on the same track. So I moved that down here so I can kind of tweak that a little differently. So, and then his ad-libs, I added this here. I think he had some other type of effects. So he was using the vocal presets, but it wasn't this one. He had something else on here. But this is so cool. Like these, yeah, these are so dope because normally you have the settings there and then you can like tweak this stuff even without clicking on it. But these are like so secret. Like some people don't even know about these. And then the fact that you can actually go in here and add an FX chain preset, and there's a bunch of presets already in here that you can use. Like this stutter box. This stutter box is dope. Like I have never clicked on it before, but I clicked on it like last night. I was like, oh, and it was like, yeah. I was like, oh, that's hot too. But anyway, here it is. Yeah, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. So, yeah, you can take this stuff and you can move it wherever. Close this one. I'm going to save it. You open another one. You're not finna eat all of these out in one night, are you? No? Okay. Yeah, I have my headphones on. I don't know. They probably can. I don't know what they've been able to hear the whole night. They might be hearing all kind of cartoons and stuff in the background. Who knows? All right, well, yeah, it's about that time. It's about that time. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go to sleep because I'm getting tired. Got church in the morning, you all. All right, well, X, man, it's been real. Hey, man, I posted, I know it's been a whole year, man. I stumbled upon our interview and I had to post it. Like, I just had to post it. There was some valuable stuff in there, and I just felt like it wasn't getting enough exposure being on the live stream. So, but yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, man. It's a beautiful year. All right, April Fools, y'all. I don't have no jokes, so maybe y'all tricked somebody today, and I don't know if anybody tricked anybody, but yeah. All right, I'm tired. Y'all get y'all some rest, enjoy your night, and have a beautiful night, beautiful weekend. All right, I love all of y'all.